by success, something he's had a lot of practice with over his great career so far. West Virginia won the toss, chose to receive, so West Virginia gets the ball first. And we get answers right away of what kind of chip Garrett Greene will have on his shoulder at quarterback tonight.
You said it best in the open. Neal Brown's approach, his attitude with Garrett Greene, he was like total confidence. He said a million things in our meeting. The last thing he left us with was his complete and total confidence in Garrett Greene. They took the ball, put their money where their mouth is against this stout K-State D.
Multiple votes of confidence for Garrett Greene from his head coach Neal Brown this week after some questions if they would make a quarterback change. And they start on the ground, and this is a great matchup of rushing offense against rushing defense, with Kansas State on the field defensively tonight.
An amazing stat there, the 14th consecutive game started on offense. I hope somebody want to bet tonight extending that. But yeah, this is strength on strength right here all night long. Rush offense against rush defense, two of the tops in the conference.
On second down, back-to-back runs to begin it, and the strength of that front for Kansas State shows up for the first time. So the lineup for West Virginia that's trying to move this front. A lot of eyes on Brandon Gates, their center.
Yeah, biggest question up front is the snap. Got to get the snap, got to get it started. And then Jaheim White, get the body blow run game. He is dynamic, paired with C.J. Donaldson, a very, very able tandem in the back end.
First third down of the night for the West Virginia offense. And the first pass for Garrett Greene, the flag out. Now he tucks it down and runs it. And he twists close to the sticks, a little bit shy of that first down. And we'll check on the flag that's back down at the 20.
Yeah, kind of in the area of holding, and it's going to be 4th and 1. Let's see what Chris Klieman does here early on. You'd anticipate a decline with West Virginia backed up for 4th and 1. Chris Klieman's taking a look at exactly how far. He says, it's less than a yard. I'm going to back him up. I know Neal Brown's going to gamble tonight.
Offense, 10-yard penalty, still third down.
Would he have gambled on that 4th and 1, though, you think?
It was right when they spotted it. It's a little bit less than a yard. I can see why they did it. Watch the left tackle, Wyatt Milam, their best. 74 as Greene breaks contain, gets kind of flushed out to his right.
That foul was on
to his
55
left
of the offense.
No, that's why we couldn't see it on 74. And they change it to Tomas Rimac.
It's a big-time pass rush for Kansas State, coming off a 6-sack game against Colorado.
And they're going to keep Yates covered all night somehow, some way.
And now Greene's first pass of the night is underneath to White, and he can't slip through. On the 3rd and 16, 4th down is coming up.
So chess piece move number 1. Advantage Chris Klieman right there, making him back up and prove it. That is not what this offense is designed to do against this K-State defense. 3rd and extra long, 4th and 8.
So a punt on the first drive of the night for West Virginia with Oliver Stroud for the first time. This will be interesting tonight. How much Dylan Edwards, the return man for Kansas State, gets to touch the ball. Already has a return touchdown this year. He gets a chance to return this one. Flag comes flying as he makes his move upfield. And right about where he received that ball is where that flag is down at the 30.
Right in that area, block in the back. Two officials are coming together to discuss it. There are multiple flags at the same spot.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 27, receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down, Kansas State.
So Avery Johnson, the quarterback for Kansas State, comes out for the first time. Flash meets toughness with this guy, Mark. He was taking selfies with fans last week at Colorado, and then he gutted out an injury in the second half to the game-winning touchdown for a road win for the Wildcats.
And this guy is a budding superstar, emphasis on the bud. He's youthful. He can make you know, the exceptional play and then the, oh my gosh, what is he doing play. Play through Giddens, play through Edwards. They're both in the backfield with him right now. Play action, be the star off that.
And it starts with the Big 12's leading rusher bottled up by a herd of Mountaineers. Came into the week with more yards than anybody, and Giddens bottled up for the first time.
Change up front. Wildcats will be without Carver Willis tonight. It's going to be Andrew Leingang in there at right tackle. Undisclosed injury. And then they got to get Jaden Jackson going, as well as receiver Jace Brown has been a star.
Back-to-back runs open it up. It's Giddens, and he has popped. As he gets a yard back, it'll be 3rd down and 10 as Tarnu comes up and smacks him.
Defensive coordinator Jordan Leslie, a dream start. 1st down stuff, 2nd down stuff. TJ Jackson the second. It's good to see him out there. Trotter is the leading tackler on the team, the 2nd level leader, calls the plays. The back end, they're going to be without Burks. They're without Garnes. Anthony Wilson has to run the back end. It's going to be Fagan in at corner.
And with that in the secondary, West Virginia selling out for the run tonight.
And rush.
First pass for Johnson is complete. Turned upfield, and it's close to the 1st down. And a yard short for Ty Bowman on his first reception of the night. They got 9 of the 10 yards they needed.
We said these are some of the approaches from both teams. The exact same thing happened. Run stuff, 3rd and long, execute. They turned into drop 8. You could see 40 Trotter mirroring Avery Johnson. We'll see if that continues to be the plan throughout the night on 3rd and long. A great 3 and out from that West Virginia D.
They're both running the ball well, both getting stuffed, both punting on the opening drive of this Big 12 game. And that punt is inside the 35.
Snaps. It's been some miscommunications up front, missed protections, etc. That next reaction, have a great reaction, take care of the rock.
The snaps have been clean to start. 2nd drive for West Virginia. And Green underneath and short of Jaheim White. Oh, that would have broken for a big play with a speedster out in space.
Great design right here by Neil Brown and company. Play action pass. They're going to have both the tight end. You see Taylor open and Jaheim White uncovered. Oof. Ooh, these are the ones you watch tomorrow. Kind of jumping mid-air right there. Not an ideal pass position. Very difficult to finish. Results in a short throw. Space
to Cole Taylor's tight ends is barreled shy of the 1st down. Took a big hit from Marquise Siegel, who Kansas State is happy to have healthy this week.
We thought Taylor watched the little slider route coming, very common boot action off of that run fake. We thought he would have a chance tonight, and back-to-back plays. He's been open on the vertical right there on the slider, and you better bring your wood to get down 6'7", 260 from Cole Taylor.
Siegel brought all of that wood.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He's a physical dude.
He went out, Siegel did, in the Colorado game last week, but questionable, turned ready to play. C.J. Donaldson on this 3rd down, and he's marked down right at the sticks. And he does have the 1st down through the tackle of Romaine.
Yes, by the nose of the ball. Over the line to gain a perfect angle right here. You see the puller, Jaquay Hubbard, 66. Getting the big booty kick out. Line judge right on the spot. 1st and 10. This is the Mountaineer way now under Neil Brown. It's time of possession. It's run, play action pass. He loses his air raid card as a result.
Keeping it on the ground here. And that is stopped by Ilalio, Damian Ilalio, in his first full year starting. Stopping the run.
And we were joking about that a little bit with Neil Brown, talking about time of possession and blah, blah, blah. And, we had talked about that in our previous game covering him. This guy loves this program, loves these players, and trying to solve, all right, we've got a good defense, we've got to play through that. We're developing these young skill guys. The skill set of Garrett Green is on the ground on play action pass.
That snap a little bit high, but Green got it off for Donaldson. And that makes it a 3rd down and long. That's something we're watching all night as Gates is snapped.
Yep, 3rd and 5. No battle with that. And this is the thing about a short quarterback, especially when they're going fast.
On 3rd down, Green unhurls it, and it's picked off. Jack Fabris off the tipped ball takes it away for the Wildcats.
You don't want to get in a drop back contest. We've said it multiple times. These guys are lethal on the back end. He had 87 Taylor outside, tried to play over the middle. A little bit behind him. K-State. All right, back in Morgantown, here's what happened. Take a look at Fabris. He's playing center field here, and if you read it with Garrett Green, watch the switch right up top. Taylor's going to be wide open here on the switch concept. It's a vertical route. They switch stems right there. Fabris just jumps it, plays the eyes and the tip ball. Well done by the free safety.
So it gets Kansas State the ball back for the 2nd time, and just like the first drive, nowhere to run for DJ Giddens.
Coach Leslie will be very excited about this. Stop the run, stop the run, stop the run. Make Avery Johnson a pocket passer. Again, very similar to the K-State approach to Garrett Green. The same philosophy for both sides.
Kansas State has the #1 rushing offense in Big 12 games and are top 10 in the country overall. And they swing it out to Dylan Edwards, and it'll be 3rd down and medium after the swing pass out to Dylan Edwards.
These guys play together a lot. Watch 31 in motion, be the lead blocker. He sees all his guys do some work for him. That's great effort. You know, doesn't absolutely destroy Fagan there, right there, 13, but it lets Edwards do his thing. These guys play off of each other so well. Good design of play right there by offensive coordinator Connor Riley, getting his guys out in space.
Trying to avoid a 2nd straight 3-and-out. Avery Johnson on 3rd down. Looking Giddens' way, avoids pressure, and underneath complete, and he has a 1st down. So the drive survives to Ty Bowman just across the sticks.
Just across the sticks, about a half yard. Watch what West Virginia does, play quarterback with Avery Johnson. They drop 8. They cut loose Mulba 54 right in his face, but Bowman, as you said, does a nice job keeping his eyes on Johnson. Johnson, nice reset with his eyes downfield and executes.
Bowman with 2 catches. He only had 1 catch on the year coming in. And Giddens is met again. Garnett Hollis from cornerback in there, sticking the run. So DJ Giddens, a slow start. Hasn't been a slow season at all. The last couple of weeks he's gone for 180+ yards in both games. That's better than
the teams,
several teams across the country. UCLA, Kent State, and Florida State.
The victorious UCLA Bruins today.
And for Giddens to start this game, he's gone 4 rushes, 1 yard against this West Virginia front. This is Edwards, the other back, and he's got nowhere to go. So it doesn't matter the back. Both are getting stuffed. Ty French makes that play to bring up 3rd down.
Ty French just does a really nice job. You'll see him right here. They're going to play everything as a 5-man pressure if it's a run. So see him keep his eyes there as he sheds Kilty 71 and dispatches of Edwards.
Johnson got the last 3rd down through the air to Bowman. Facing another 3rd down at midfield. On 3rd and 8. Johnson protected. Back over the middle. He completes another one on 3rd down. This one to Keegan Johnson. K-State is on the march.
Ask Connor Riley, is this a game where Keegan Johnson gets going? He kind of nodded. Here's a deep dig. A little bit of a hold right there by 69 Poitier. Nice throw. The deep dig concept there from Keegan Johnson. Nice throw and catch. Johnson to Johnson.
Connor Riley wanted to see some more explosiveness, right, from Johnson. They feel he's a big play threat, as shown in practice. Hasn't shown it in the game much this year yet. Giddens still trying to carve out a big seam against this West Virginia front. Does have positive yardage on first down before Joseph got to him.
Jaheim Joseph brought the wood. This is what we need to watch all night. He's coming from the third level down, as you see it left to right. He's going to show up right there. All night long, how they fit that and get Giddens to the ground is going to just define the success of this K-State run game.
Giddens, one of the best backs in the country after draw play action here. Johnson couldn't get it to him. Running away from Martin, and he has to bench it. So Giddens was covered up. Martin in pursuit. Here we go again. It's a third down on this drive.
Martin says, I know you're fast, number 2, Avery Johnson. I've seen tape. You can roll. You're usually the fastest guy we play against. And he just ran a straight shot to the sideline. Great angle of recovery. And they're challenging him to be a passer in those long yardage situations. Dropping 8, rushing 3. Changing up the coverage looks on the back end.
And this, the down and distance, one more time, 3rd and 8. Johnson is converted twice on third down.
Screen.
Sets up a screen underneath, and that is stopped shy of the sticks. Garrett Oakley couldn't get there. Josiah Trotter makes the stick. And West Virginia says it's finally 4th down on this drive.
Watch the center here. I believe this guy who climbs right there, 75 in the middle of the screen, and Trotter says, nope, I'm a better athlete than you. I'm going to get to him and force this field goal try.
44 yards out for Chris Tennant for the first points of the night, either way. And Tennant's kick is, just inside the right upright. So Kansas State scores first. Couple of third down conversions for Avery Johnson through the air, then Tennant from 44 out. Sneaky work here in Morgantown. 3-zip Wildcats.
Not
I was
that
0 for 0.
No, yes.
You went 9 for 9. And Chris Tennant field goal from 44 yards out just snuck through for Kansas State. They lead at 3-0. Here's Josh Sims.
A little more on Jaheim White. He grew up, or was born at least, in Miami, but he told me things were rocky for him growing up, and then his family moved up to York, Pennsylvania, and he was a little depressed making the move, but then he met his teacher, Amanda Poff, in 6th grade. He said she saw potential in him, helped him as far as helping him fall in love with football, get a second chance. She was really instrumental. She comes to see him play, a big part of why he is who he is today, guys.
Well, that teacher is now a fan favorite with the Mountaineer fans.
Yeah, unless you're playing against him.
But Jaheim White has been terrific this year for these Mountaineers. Jordan Riley gets to him there on this opening carry of this third drive, coming off a takeaway. Kansas State got the pick last time.
Yeah, little drive starter here, getting Jaheim going. A 3-yard gain. This is again how they operate. Chunk play, try to play, chunk play, but as in a body blow, 3rd and medium is where they want to operate, then try to take the shots on their turn.
Play action to White.
That one.
Green going upstairs, and a flag comes out on the incomplete pass. Traylon Ray streaking behind the defense, flag out behind the coverage.
It's going to be on Steiger. Just a matter of what they call this holding or pass interference. But this is when I say a launch on their terms. A play action pass, second and manageable, take a shot.
Pass interference, number 12. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
So the biggest thing here is the difference of 10 yards versus 5 yards. You see Ray coming across, and this is why I said it's take your pick. If the ball's in the air, it's pass interference. If it was prior to the pass, it's holding. That is a viewer's choice for our Big 12 crew, and they're right on it.
Chris Kleiman told us this week the deep pass has been our nemesis this year. That's what they're trying to cut down on.
And as good as they are against the run, it's those chunk plays in the pass game that shock you. Here's Garrett Green.
Green sees an opening, makes a man miss. Green into open space. His first big run of the night as West Virginia inside the 30.
Slow getting up. Just as he gets a chunk play going. Nico Marchiol's the backup. We'll take a look here. He's peeking downfield. There is a play action pass going, and he reacted to it. And this is his elusiveness, his ability to make you miss. It was just right at the tail end of this that he slowed down.
Green limped up to the line before that handoff to White. So through some gritted teeth now on this drive for Garrett Green.
Tough dude, man. We talked about his catcher mentality, baseball mentality, has the baseball background. You're going to see multiple Wildcats finish kind of through and over the top of him, trying to battle for every square inch out there. Neil Brown said this dude is tough, and you said it best. He's going to play well today for his team, for his program.
Play action. Green over the middle, incomplete. Wanted Preston Fox. It'll be third down.
Just a clear dig. They love this concept. Watch, you'll see a vertical clear out by that inside receiver. The dig concept, which we've seen from both sides of this. Too high there for Preston Fox, and just let that one get away from him. That can happen. He's a undersized guy. They say 5'11", probably somewhere just shy of 5'10". But tough.
Now showing some signs of a bad wheel, some blood streaming down his knees after that run earlier on the drive for Garrett Green. On this third down, trying to set up a screen, and it's blown up. Austin Moore hit the receiver Fox, and it's fourth down.
Austin Moore, they call him the machine in the Kansas State program. Watch him just run the screen for him. He runs right to it. That is not pass interference because it's behind the line of scrimmage. That's probably what people are maybe unhappy about.
Neil Brown has the same feelings as those fans. So Kansas State hit a 44-yard field goal. Now West Virginia with Michael Hayes from 44 yards out to try to tie the score. Hayes for the first time tonight. And he ties it at 3. West Virginia left wanting more with Garrett Green, their quarterback, limping off the field after his big run that got him down for the field goal. Passer at West Virginia, still doing it.
That guy was pretty good. And a little ode to the Cole uniforms they used last week. Those were sweet, by the way.
Current quarterback Garrett Green for West Virginia went out limping. And you see the backup, Nico Marchiol, starting to warm up for Neil Brown and the Mountaineers.
They have a lot of confidence in him. Obviously, the lefty, not quite as athletic, not quite as an accurate big-time downfield passer, but very similar game plan.
Dylan Edwards gets a shot out, and the ball comes punching out. And Kansas State avoids disaster.
Things Newsome, Johnny on the spot, Asa on the spot, as it were. Man, this place was just ready to go nuts with that ball loose. Great effort. Dylan Edwards, we said he's going to have a big effect on this game. He almost did it the wrong way.
Torres Simmons punched that ball out. Ty French almost got to it. But Newsome saves possession for Kansas State. On their third drive, it starts with Avery Johnson through the air, and he feathers it over the top to Jaden Jackson. A beautiful ball for a first down in the opening play.
Yeah, exactly what you said. They got underneath the vertical inside portion as they're going to threat a little tempo here, and a great feather to the boundary.
Johnson, a 6 of 7 start. That one for 20-plus yards. Wants another one. Streaking down the field. They have another one. Touchdown, Kansas State. It's Jackson twice on that drive.
just a straight vertical off the play option pass. 0 on 12. We talked about Jaden Jackson. They want to get him involved. A little bit of a nod double move on the starter. Not one of the backups in there, but Anthony Wilson Jr., a starter, has been really good. And Jaden Jackson better. Avery Johnson, a great answer for K-State.
2 plays and more receiving yards than Jaden Jackson had coming into this game. Came in with 83, had 84.
That's that.
On 2 catches for a touchdown.
Yep, that's that. Be careful what you wish for, right? The first play, the play action feather, and this just a little nod of vertical. Jaden Jackson on the safety. Speed on the safety. Just like us, Panzer and Avery Johnson do that celebration.
Well, that's our scoring summary brought to you by Modelo. Now recruiting full-time fans, please drink responsibly. And Avery Johnson has basically said, okay, you want to take away DJ Giddens?
Yep.
I'll do it on my right arm.
Yeah, that's, the dream of every quarterback. Again, if you can run the football, you can do anything. They have established that pedigree many moons ago. Flash it in the belly that time of DJ Giddens. You have 2 vertical routes against a safety, and your ideal matchup in that case with Jaden Jackson, this 6'1" speedster from Ole Miss.
Avery Johnson's not showing a whole lot of effects of this, but he is not 100% tonight. He went out of the game last week at Colorado, missed 8 plays, came back in, engineered the comeback, and he's still feeling the effects of that injured side. And his touchdown has Kansas State back in front. So now West Virginia, who's going to emerge from that huddle? Will 2 quarterbacks tomorrow. The quarterback right now is Garrett Green, even after he came up limping last drive for West Virginia. And passing through pressure, that ball is knocked down. He had his right arm clubbed. Obi Izor in there applying the pressure for Kansas State.
Great defensive call here by defensive coordinator Joe Klanderman. Just a 4-man rush. They end up doubling the vertical outside, and they're trying to double Cole Taylor. And back in the pocket, Garrett Green unable to finish his mechanics.
Looked a lot like last week for the Kansas State pass rush. Season high 6 sacks, and the win against Colorado. On a 2nd down. Quick pop out on the screen. That is stops. Eli Leo running down the line to bring up 3rd down. And that 3rd down is coming up on the other side of the field for the
touchdown they have to solve.
Well, deep in their own territory, West Virginia with a 3rd down to open up this 2nd quarter.
5.
Through the pressure. Green over the middle and incomplete. Looking for a flag, and they got it. It came in late with Traylon Ray running across the middle of the field on Colby McAllister.
Yeah, this is going to look like the exact same play before. It's a take your pick. It's a hold or a PI. It'll be a spot foul because it's less than 15.
Pass interference, number 7. Defense. Be a spot foul, automatic 1st down.
They try to disguise these pressures so long they lose leverage, and no doubt about that right there. Yeah, I think they called 7. That was the receiver, and as you said, it was 2. McAllister, and he knows it.
And McAllister played a bunch of meaningful snaps last week against a pass-heavy Colorado team. And in there a bunch to start this game again tonight. So the drive continues for West Virginia, and on the ground with a flag out. Donaldson turns out 8 yards, but we'll check on the marker. Back to the original line of scrimmage.
It's uncharacteristic. Both these teams do not commit a lot of penalties.
Holding number 50. Offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still 1st down.
He's going, man, I've had a tough couple weeks here. I got my hand taped up. I thought I got away with one, and then, yeah, there it is. 2 of the lowest in the country. Very disciplined approach. Had a couple chunk plays from pass interference. A couple penalties on this West Virginia offensive line. Set them back.
So those averages say we will see no more penalties the rest of this game. 3 for Kansas State, 2 for West Virginia. Long down in distance for Green in this West Virginia offense. And a surge there for C.J. Donaldson. He's close to the original line of scrimmage. Got 9 yards. Garrett Green was limping off the field at the end of that first quarter after he took that hit.
And just like it's Payne finishing the play over the top of him, Newsome, and they just roll over. Look, really both ankles. The right ankle, right knee got the worst of it. And again, this guy is toughness personified.
He waved off the trainers, waved off the coaches, and still in there. He pumps, he slides, and only got a couple of yards, so it'll be third down with Green fighting through that pain.
3-man rush, drop 8. Again, it feels like both teams doing the exact same thing, making Green become a drop back passer, and then that one's right there. Palmer kind of swallows him up there, 57. That's one where a healthy Garrett Green isn't gone, but that's about a 25-yard gain.
Keeps running. It's not a third down and 9. You know that for sure. Kansas State trying to get off the field, bringing pressure. Green throws an interception. Siegel picks it off. Down the sideline, and it's a pick 6. Marquis Siegel to the house.
Siegel, watch him sit. Watch his eyes. Garrett Green, he knows where the stakes are and just plays off of it. Great reaction by Siegel. Good job finishing it. And K-State, a dream start, 16-3, pending.
Siegel questionable coming into the game. Joe Klanderman, the defensive coordinator, said he's the guy that has the most self-belief of anybody on the defense, believing that he can play through a little bit of pain.
I get it.
Going upstairs, you understand why. That confidence is sky high. With the pick 6, the first of his career, and the first for Kansas State since West Virginia 2 years ago. And it's 17-3. West Virginia heading back out into the field on offense after the second pick of the night for Garrett Green. And not just that, the turnover that led to a score. He took a big hit from Brendan Mott.
Yeah, just a little insult to injury here at the end. Mott, because Garrett Green is pursuing the play. That's what makes this legal. Normally that would be an illegal act on a defenseless quarterback, but because Garrett Green is pursuing, and you saw our referee Michael Vanderveld right on the spot there, and he was on top of it, stepped in between them. Congratulations on the pick 6 and sit down.
Brendan Mott will hit a quarterback any chance he gets.
Yes, he will.
Best pass rusher in the Big 12 at this point. 6.5 sacks. So this drive starts on the ground for West Virginia. A drive where it feels really important that they get at least some sort of points.
Absolutely, without good combination of everything, right? The pressure on the quarterback, the pressure on the head coach, which, you know, that's going to happen no matter what. And a beat-up quarterback who's still going.
And trying to bounce back from that pick, Garrett Green has a first down, taking some more contact.
Just a really good job. We talked about his reaction and then play. Right here, he's got nothing downfield. They try to run a little double move on the outside. Nothing. And again, tough dude running against one of the toughest guys in the conference. Romaine, 45 right there, 1st and 10.
You mentioned the pressure on Garrett Green, internally from himself, but also from the fan base. Where do you think his mind's at?
Well, we just learned right there. He made a great decision right there. It was covered downfield. I didn't force it. I made the best out of nothing. 1st and 10. Play the next play.
And his next pass after the pick is off target. He made his guy reach for it, and Hudson Clement could not reel it in.
Yeah, little RPO again. This kind of happens sometimes. He's not the biggest of QBs, as you can see. I think that ball actually may have been tipped by Davis, 52. A missed opportunity and a great reaction that time by Davis.
Davis was all over the field against Colorado last week. He brings up second down with the batted pass. It's play action. Range protected. Taking a shot, and it's over the top and incomplete. Again to Hudson Clement. And some boos come out here in Morgantown, frustrated with this offense.
Looked like a little miscommunication in the route. Watch Clement 3, Robinson 2. 2's got to keep going, 3 has to climb, clear out that zone, and open up the window. And that's one of those ones where I think 3's kind of odd angle tucked the quarterback into making that throw. That's never a good thing.
Third down. Quick pop for Taylor, and off 2 tackles. A much-needed first down for West Virginia.
Yes, a great answer from Garrett Greene. Every first down is going to feel great. They show a zero pressure, bluff out of it, end up just rushing 4. Nice throw and catch to the big target, Cole Taylor.
That quiets a little bit of the antsiness in this stadium, but that will not. Jordan Riley with the run stick for Kansas State.
32, Purnell, this linebacker. Austin Moore, we talked about the machine. Austin Romaine, the leading tackler. And then Desmond Purnell, they are interchangeable, excellent. Their speed, power, athleticism. 2nd and 10 is the result.
Hey, Jordan! Or Banjo!
Best run-stopping defense in the Big 12. Brings up 2nd down and 10. It's another run. It's Greene shaking a tackler into open space with a first down. Some of that toughness showing up again for Greene, this time on the ground. First down.
K-State D coordinator Joe Klannerman, he's feeling no mercy, brings 5, and just on cue, there's one of the first missed tackles by Van Wy. Did we mention this guy's tough? Did we say that? Whew. Take care of the rock. This is where those issues start against Iowa State. This, as you said, would be a monumental touchdown drive for Garrett Greene and the motivation of this entire program.
Kansas State trying to take some more life out of the stadium. And White stumbles ahead to the 25. If you're going to do it on the ground, you're going to have to drive it against Kansas State.
Yep, and keep going. That's a 4-yard run. That's a big first down run against this K-State run defense that has been elite against everybody. Jaheim White sort of working his way a la DJ Giddens with Deuce Vaughn. It's Jaheim White with C.J. Donaldson has become the bell cow for this team.
He's
the heavyweight, the bell cow, however you want to put it. He is a load to take down. Fake it to him. Greene, a little crease there. He sneaks ahead to make it 3rd down and 1.
Oh, again, no doubt, play callers, Neil Brown. No doubt the toughness of his quarterback. You're running the pre-designed, predetermined quarterback counter to set up 3rd and 1.
Just a go for it no matter what if you don't get it here?
Yeah, I think so. A 2-touchdown game, they don't want to lose contact. They'll have to score touchdowns. This is going to be as good a chance as possible at this point.
Heavy look on 3rd and 1 as Greene bows under center. And a toss for Donaldson. He has the block and the cut. And he rumbles inside the 10-yard line of the first down.
Really nice job. Watch the front. You'll see 81, Traylon Davis clearing the way, open up the cut for C.J. Donaldson. He said, shoot, right there. He said, shoot, right? Read lips.
It was a little bit,
Gosh darn it.
less G-rated than that. Just a feel. Emptied out, lead blocker in front, but nowhere to go. And Purnell among plenty of Wildcats out there. Austin Moore also driving the pile back. 2nd down and goal.
It's going to be those first down calls. Neil Brown's going to have his chance for a play action shot where Joe Klanaman, defensive coordinator from K-State, is just sell out, stop run. You've got the quarterback run game to deal with. You have the two tailback system to deal with. Showing pressure here as well.
Coming on the edges. Green steps up. Green on the move. And a third down is coming. These guys are tough in the red zone. Kansas State, one of the best red zone defenses, putting some pops on Garrett Green.
Got hit after hit after hit. Five-man rush this time, making every offensive lineman protect. You see the big boys, Romaine, Sam Malu. Thought of vowels on it right there. Romaine and Sam Malu.
I was all the way. I was looking for him to take him down, honestly.
13th play of this drive.
Showing a little squeeze splits, making K-State show their
bringing it, almost got home, and Green delivers a strike. Touchdown, West Virginia. Hudson Clement from 7 yards out.
Beautiful action. Watch the vertical push, and then what turns into a little shallow underneath it, beaten across. Great throw, Jacob Parrish, late to the party, number 10. And that feels good for Mountaineer Nation.
A 13-play, 70-yard response after the pick six. Run by Green to Marquis Siegel. And after the West Virginia crowd was booing the offense on a third down, Garrett Green kept the drive going with his legs. Finishes it with a touchdown to Clement.
True, the outfit though, and how much does that add to the push-up? But wow, speaking of toughness, how about this dude tonight? Shot goes out. This is the hit. Mott, the best pass rusher on K-State. We saw the shot earlier right there. Again, no doubt a legal, legitimate shot. And Garrett Green answers with the strike. So far tonight, 101 of the 144 total yards through Garrett Green.
Brendan Mott's not singling out Garrett Green. He is doing this to every quarterback.
Yeah, he's an equal opportunity defender.
Stuff of nightmares for a quarterback, Brendan Mott. But good response for West Virginia. It was a pick six by Siegel that led to their last score. And they haven't been moving the ball on the ground. It's been Avery Johnson through the air.
Rush defense, again to this point, 3 yards rushing. That leads to the home run. Play action, pass, double move. Finding the speedster, Jaden Jackson. After the laser down the right-hand side from that man, Avery Johnson. We'll see what his response is with 6:38 and all 3 timeouts left.
One tough quarterback to another. Both fighting through some pain tonight. And Johnson, for the second time tonight, has a first down. Keegan Johnson on the opening play of the drive.
That's prove it. Again, defensive coordinator Jordan Leslie says, I'm going to rush 5, limit the rush game, make him be a drop back passer. In that case, throwing the strike, a little option route to Keegan Johnson.
So if this drive goes like last drive, it's 15-plus yard play underneath, and then they go up top to the same guy. So they did it to Jaden Jackson last time. Play action for Johnson. And, Giddens almost caught it behind his back. Incomplete, second down.
Yeah, again, out of the backfield, he is really good. Might have gotten away with a little tug. That time, Bulba, I think, got held. He had the uncharacteristic drop last week. DJ Giddens on the perimeter would have given Shiloh Sanders another opportunity right there.
Would have made up for it if he caught that ball against the back place.
Yes.
Second down. And Giddens still trying to get his night going. That third down because West Virginia has stopped Giddens again.
Just wadded everything up. It's still gain of 6. Right now for Avery Johnson, this is whatever you're on RPO. It's a 3rd and 4 situation. A rundown is a winner. Your best 3rd and medium. plays against West Virginia are going to be plays where he will have multiple options.
West Virginia just scored on a long touchdown drive. Kansas State on a 3rd down. Johnson incomplete. KK Tarnu with the coverage on Jackson. With Johnson wanting a flag, it's not coming. 4th down.
That looked clean from this angle. We'll certainly take a look. It would be the right hand. You'll see 14. It's going to show up on the right side of your screen. Watch it with Avery Johnson. Yeah, there's no restriction of any kind of, it's in the quarterback manual. He has to complain about that. It's in the bylaws. Got to complain about that. At a big-time stop now, 5:17, and West Virginia, if this goes according to Hoyle, will get another chance.
You don't think he has a point beyond the bylaws, though? No penalty
I do
there?
not. No, I don't think that was.
So KK Tarnu starting for an injured Aubrey Burt. Then on the road, but they got to go on the road a lot.
Stay on the Neal Brown train. Come on.
Looking for a game-time score against the stingy Kansas State defense. And not much there for Donaldson to start this drive. With 5 minutes to go until halftime. Big game in the Big 12 standings. You had 8 teams at the start of the week that were either 3-0 or 2-1. And what's going to be a wild race to Arlington. You got 2 of them playing right here. Kansas State, West Virginia.
What did Baylor score? 59? Is that what that said tonight? In football,
beat Texas
right?
Tech.
Football?
Yep, beat Texas Tech, who was 3-0 in the Big 12 into the weekend. On the sweep on 2nd down. That's enough for a 1st down. Sweet feet of Rodney Gallagher out to the edge to extend this drive.
Just basically a version of a wide run, jet sweep action. Watch C.J. Donaldson out front, 4, getting it started, making that linebacker cut underneath. You don't see Austin Romaine fit wrong. That results in a 1st down, and that takes a shot off of Garrett Green. Gets him just one of those ones where he can stay upright and hand it off to somebody else.
Green has accounted for over 100 total yards tonight through the air and on the ground. Got him passing here. He does have Taylor down the sideline, weaving between the secondary. And a 1st down for Taylor. And into Kansas State territory.
They went back and they watched the surface. They said, hey, on that pick we threw earlier, give him a little bluff. I'm going to run that switch concept where we threw the pick earlier. The adjustment from Garrett Green from Neal Brown across the 51st and 10.
Explosive hit of 34 yards from Green to Taylor. And a 2nd consecutive drive is on the march for West Virginia.
Pressure.
Off the edge, Purnell was the free runner, but away to Donaldson. And the other side of that line was there to get him with Eli Leo again.
Eli Leo, this guy has an unbelievable knack. He's one of those guys you kind of watch and you're going, oh man, maybe he's not a good pass rush. No, he has an unbelievable feel for that. The perimeter game, get off, get to the flat and eat up the screen.
Shot play. Ray is out of bounds. Hemmed to the sideline by Garber. And all the Mountaineer fans wanted a penalty on Garber, who had very tight coverage.
Garrett Green had to get the ball out. It looked like the receiver had a chance to make the play early. It just lost that green grass. Yeah, that left foot was on the white. That would have been good in Canada, not in Morgantown. So that left foot.
Definitely.
Yep. Unbelievable effort. The throw, the catch, better coverage that time by Keenan Garber.
So 3rd down. Kansas State pressure again. Green runs through it. He has open space. 1st down and more. A 3rd down conversion machine the last 2 drives, Garrett Green.
They thought they had the free play there with the offsides, but nobody threw the flag. Looked like we had one in the neutral zone there. Garrett Green, he can slide. He doesn't do it very often as a quarterback, but smartly does it there. Those guys are fired up.
Too much tailgating, fellas.
Couldn't connect on the high 10. 20, gotta do what you want here. End the half with the ball if you're West Virginia.
Kansas State gets the ball at a halftime. West Virginia got it first. More heat coming. It's picked up as Green escapes. Little pump, flag is out as Moore chases him out of bounds. Where that run broke is back at the 35, where the flag is down.
Neil Brown not happy. He's on the field about 10
Holding,
yards.
number 55. Offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still first down.
That's his second one of the night. And Garrett Green's going to bust out. It's called on the left guard, 55. Got him locked up, hands inside.
That's a 2-minute timeout. Timeout on the field.
Holding Stuffleby.
As soon as he feels Garrett Green, which that's one of the greatest things about Garrett Green, and hard as an offensive lineman to know exactly when that's going to happen.
2 minutes to go until the half. Kansas State led it 17-3. West Virginia trying to tie it with 2 minutes to go until the break.
East patch too. Look at that.
A huge one in the Big 12 tonight. 2-1 in the Big 12 standings. Kansas State and West Virginia. Connor Runyon, Mark Helfrich, Josh Sims. Thanks for being with us. For most of you, probably closing out your college football Saturday. 2-minute timeout before halftime. West Virginia trying to get a game-time score with Green weaving his way near the sticks of the original line of scrimmage, and he was hit late. But not too late. No flag comes out.
Neil Brown, I get it. You're protecting your QB 100%. I get it. Great decision by Garrett Green not to pitch the ball right there to Gallagher. That's one of those ones. He's made that play in the past. That's 1 foot out of bounds. 1 foot inbounds. Probably clean. And if that's my quarterback, I'm going to do the exact same thing.
Parishes in full speed, kind of in that gray area, right? The screen underneath, and Eli Leo is there again to bring up third down. He's having a heck of a first half on the D-line for Kansas State.
Third play inside out on the screen kick. And when you can do that with that man size, 6'2", 300 redirected, that is a scope. 6'2", 300 right there.
He is beloved back home. Stayed in his hometown from Manhattan. We'll get a breather on a third down. Green looking for room to run, and he's wrangled down. Purnell with a first down saving tackle. And a flag comes out. There was a face mask. He was twisted. Flag stayed in pockets. So wondered if maybe it was jersey. And the officials saw the face mask.
We will take a look at this, and that is a no-doubter. That is one of those ones where you just can't believe they didn't see it. Purnell up way too high. That's when Neil Brown he's already on tilt or close to it. Has to be a 50.
Personal foul, face mask, number 32. Defense, half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Chris Klieman saying, well, hey, don't get talked into it. He's, again, fighting his fight, which is, in this case is incorrect. A ton of respect for that man.
Because at first they weren't going to
They didn't call it. They didn't call it. They got together and made the correct call. But again, I get that heated moment too.
You think they got lobbied?
Probably. And again, the would-be late hit out of bounds. This Marlon Pushkar is about to go off if the Mountaineers can finish the half on their terms, and he knows it.
And against Kansas State this year, teams are only scoring touchdowns half the time down here. And second best in the Big 12. And West Virginia trying to make it 2 red zone trips in a row with a touchdown as we approach the 1 minute mark before halftime.
2nd and 7 right here, so Neil Brown is going to just kind of be in a modified tempo here. They want to have all 3 timeouts. The entire field, entire playbook is open. It's best on best. Take care of the rock there, Green.
On second down, Green looking to run, and he's popped. His nemesis has been Siegel. Got him for a pick 6. Siegel gets him for a loss to bring up third down.
Unaccounted for off the edge right there, and Siegel got him.
And a timeout with 41 seconds left. before this crucial third down. Let's take a look at the Pacific Life game summary. Sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. It was 17-3 K-State. West Virginia looking for 14 unanswered before halftime.
Yeah, if you're a K-State fan just tuning in, you're going, wait, how do we have 17 points? And we have 9 rush yards. Well, there it is, a 60-yard home run ball to Jackson, and then Siegel the pick 6 off of Garrett Green. And here we are, 41 seconds left. K-State still with all 3 of their timeouts. Wouldn't be surprised if Chris Klieman used one right here after sees the look of formation action on 3rd and 9. Can't take them to the locker room.
Avery Johnson has had a gutsy first half, 8 of 11 with that touchdown that you mentioned to Jackson. And then Garrett Green, since the boos were raining down, after a pick 6, a drive looked like it was about to stall. Since then, he has turned it on, scored the touchdown, and then marched his team right back down to the red zone.
Just toughness. Again, you can't bring that word up enough with this guy. This front, Brandon Yates has battled through a bunch. Remax had multiple penalties. Wyatt Milam challenged right here, the biggest point of their season. 3rd and 9, tying this up, bringing some momentum to the locker room would be huge.
The red zone brick wall that is this Kansas State defense.
He's not going to take a timeout.
Looking in at Garrett Green on a 3rd down and 9. Setting up a screen. Out to the edge. They couldn't get all the way there, and the twist is short of the first down. Jordan Riley got just enough of Gallagher to make it a 4th down.
Nice call here by Neil Brown.
West Virginia
Great
has called their
execution
second charge time out of the half.
that time by Colt
30
Taylor,
seconds
87
late.
on the kick out.
Game clock operator, please reset the
Gallagher
game
has
clock
had a
to
sleepy,
28
solid
seconds. 28.
first half here.
Okay, before this big 4th down and 1, let's go to Mike Hill and see what's coming up in the State Farm halftime show.
Coming up on the State Farm halftime, Georgia and Texas collide in the 3rd top 5 matchup for the season. Alabama tries to avenge the loss from his last trip to Knoxville. And Cam Ward's Heisman campaign is in full swing. Connie Martin, see you fellas at the half.
All right, Mike. Yeah, Cam Ward with the shootout win against Louisville today. Big day in the SEC to get you caught up on, and a big 4th down and 1 coming right here. And the offense is coming back out as Garrett Green gets the play call from Neil Brown.
The field goal unit was assembled. Neil Brown dispatched them to the sideline, grabbed his quarterback around the shoulder, and said, let's go.
Kansas State with the lead, getting the ball out of halftime. 4th down and 1.
13 personnel here, 1 back, 3 tight ends.
Green scrambles. Green into the dirt and incomplete. Austin Moore had the pressure to get the ball back for Kansas State.
Here Klieman arguing for the delay of game. He's waiting for the crosser to develop. Colt Taylor, 87 shows up right there. You've got 6'7" right in front of you. Unfortunately, there's a possible pick route also by Clement. I think Garrett Green was just worried about the corner coming off and getting drilled. But a big stand there by K-State.
The 2nd straight drive where West Virginia had taken it right down to the doorstep. And the heartbeat of that defense, Austin Moore, hitting Green to bring up halftime and keeping Kansas State in the lead. K-State team that's dreaming of a repeat of 2022 when they won the Big 12, that overtime classic against TCU. And this would keep them a game back.
At the end of the first half.
Done for the night.
It's just too bad it didn't happen on his terms. The toughness level of that kid can never be questioned. And A lot of people around this program are going to get what they wished for in terms of seeing the backup quarterback. Always the most popular guy in every football program. When there's questions about the offense, it's the backup quarterback. And here we go.
And Dylan Edwards with the opening kickoff of the second half races out across the 25. Kansas State got only 9 yards from DJ Giddens in the first half, so they used play action.
Yeah, stone job. 8 total rushing yards for the team. What do you do in that case? Adjust. Get to the play action game. Avery Johnson layers it to Jaden Jackson down the right side, and this time it's a one-on-one double move on Anthony Wilson Jr. to the house. Great adjustment by offensive coordinator Connor Riley and company.
We figured that was a big part of the discussion in Kansas State's locker room, right? Unlock DJ Giddens this second half. It starts through the air. It starts with another first down. Jace Brown from Avery Johnson to start the second half from scrimmage for Kansas State.
Nice drive started here from K-State. And everybody's thinking what you said, get the ball to DJ Giddens. They wad up the front, make him execute on the perimeter, and he does.
Is that a technical term? Wadded up?
Wadded up, yes, it is. It's a West Virginia vocabulary.
To Dylan Edwards, trying to use his speed around the edge, and he squirts through near the first down. And maybe that's a way to relieve some pressure on DJ Giddens.
100%, yeah. Wad up DJ Giddens, get the ball on the perimeter. Dylan Edwards has been outstanding in that role. Was at Colorado, now K-State. Back with his buddy from a long, long time ago, Avery Johnson. K-State is the team out of these two that plays with tempo. I don't anticipate that they'll go high tempo, up tempo, but get West Virginia to show their hand and try to pry DJ Giddens open.
And Giddens is stopped again. Trey Lathan had the first hit on him. And here comes third down.
Lathan in the backfield for Romaine versus Lathan. Of who can square up on the back right there, gets in the backfield, and a whole host of guys along with him. Tyron Bradley Jr., number 8, along to get DJ Giddens to the ground. And that's the news. This guy is 131 per game tonight. He hasn't got a first down.
Do they trust him here on a night where he's been stacked up? It's on the arm of Johnson on third down. It's complete. The drive continues. Jace Brown, 2 first downs on this opening drive out of halftime.
It's the exact same route as before, slightly different formation, a little spacing concept. You see one to the flat, one to that little hook area. Jace Brown, bang, bang, throw and catch from Avery Johnson.
This will be an important score for Kansas State, knowing now that Garrett Green, the starting quarterback for West Virginia, not available the rest of the night. Not knowing what you're going to get from the West Virginia offense. That is off target. Johnson went tumbling back through some pressure through the hands of Oakley after that hit.
It's see him celebrate in the backfield to get to Johnson, but not a pressure. Just a base little 4-man rush, a little twist game. Getting to him again. You see 56 in there for just Jordan-less line gang. 56 is in for Carver Willis, who was out tonight, didn't make the trip. And he's having a little bit of a tough time with some of those edge rushers.
Giddens. And he didn't get into the second level. That was the big emphasis tonight. 1 and done on the tackling, and it's third down, stopping Giddens again.
Giddens, just how good has he been? That's a 5-yard run. And we're sitting here talking about how, it's average. That's a nice little chunk, sets them up in third and very manageable. The hardest thing when you've got Avery Johnson back there, his speed, DJ Giddens' power, if he pulls it, he's on the perimeter. Interesting, K-State comes back to a little RPO and reading the top side right here.
Back in the belly of Giddens, he's stopped. Fourth down.
And that's basically exactly what they did. It's a zone read, but it looks like Avery Johnson's kind of in give mode. Like right here, he's reading the edge, just the edge of that. He's planning on the cutback from Giddens, but West Virginia just says, no, we're going to wad every bit of this up. We're bringing Wilson off the edge, not have to cover 4th and 5. See the ball.
Another play for no gain for the Big 12's leading rusher. 4th down. Kansas State going for it to open the second half. And Johnson spins out of pressure. Keeps the play alive and has a first down. Heartbreaking for that pass rush. Johnson delivers to keep the drive going.
That is a great play by Avery Johnson. We just talked about this tackle situation. Sean Martin just runs right by him. Got to get your right hand involved. Got to finish Avery Johnson with 2 hands. Tip your cap and fit all that hair underneath it. That is a big-time play by Avery Johnson.
Ty Bowman having his biggest game of the season at wide receiver for Kansas State. And there's Giddens. And one of his best runs of the night goes for 8 yards.
This is where it's been body blow. Watch 13. Fagan, corner, coming in there, triggers, beating Brown across, gets his right arm in there and gets him down. That does not happen with most corners. That's a big-time play by Fagan.
He's playing for the injured Aiden Garnes. A typical starter out tonight with injury. Out to Edwards, and the block was shed, but Edwards stayed on his feet to survive the hit. Through contact, Kansas State with back-to-back first downs.
And back-to-back missed tackles, trucks, finishes how everyone, look at this, watch Dylan Edwards. Again, we just gave these guys credit. There's a missed tackle / run through, another missed tackle / run through, and Hollis is down.
Big 12 title, was for Kansas State with Darren Sproles. Avery Johnson survived this 4th and 5 hit to keep the drive going.
Yes, he did. He is a powerful guy for, being a little 6'2", 192 on the scales, but ran through the would-be tackle of Sean Martin. That is a game-changing missed tackle / great play from Avery Johnson.
So inside the red zone because of that. Johnson, that ball is caught. Touchdown for Oakley off of the hit.
Watch 3, Jaheim Joseph. 4 inches from flipping this. As it is, it's a great back shoulder throw to Oakley. His 2nd touchdown of the season. The vertical threat there, play action pass, stop the run, stop the run, stop the run. They got to give up something. It was that tight window and a penalty on the PAT.
False start, number 53. Offense, 5-yard penalty, retry.
Really nice adjustments by offensive coordinator Connor Riley, co-offensive coordinator Matt Wells. Play hard sell, play action, downfield, a vertical chunk to the tight end. And then just the dink and dunk. Take what they give you. To Brown, to Jackson, Dylan Edwards on the perimeter. A really nice variety in that drive.
And that drive had every chance to stall, including the 4th and 5 that was stopped for a sack. And with Johnson, Edwards, then Oakley, all off of contacts. And Oakley, who's had a much bigger role with Braden Lofton, their top pass-catching tight end, out. 2nd touchdown of the year. 2-score lead for Kansas State. Your leading rusher and your offensive line leader.
Yeah, your 2 leading rushers, right? Between your quarterback, Garrett Grain, Jaheim White, have been the battery in this run game. Has to go to the Nico Marchiol package again. It won't change a ton. So, a certain amount of plays that only Garrett Green would have done with his elite athleticism, but that's what Nico Marchiol brings to the table as well. As the crowd is on their feet, probably not knowing in the stadium what happened to Garrett Green.
Some fans, some local media asking to see more Marchiol. After last week's loss to Iowa State, this comes under the circumstance with starter Garrett Green injured. And Markio's first snap goes for a loss of 1. Desmond Purnell runs him down.
Really nice design right there by D coordinator Joe Klanderman. He says, hey, Purnell, this is a lefty. Right, here's his first play. Neil Brown says, let's give him an easy completion to the left. Have your contain out there, 32 Purnell, getting it to the ground.
When asked about Markio this week, Neil Brown said, everybody in the country is enamored with the backup quarterback. We just happen to have one that can really play. But to find out over the next quarter plus. His first pass incomplete for Traylon Ray. Jacob Parrish, the top cover corner, with help from Jordan Riley. So into the game, cold off the bench with an injured starter. Go get him on a 3rd down and 11.
With C.J. Donaldson will be your lone remain, and he's limping right now. 4-man rush.
On a 3rd and 11. Markio avoids the pressure, and now he goes down. Back to the original line of scrimmage, but well short of the first down. It's 4th and 11. And Markio's first drive leads to a punt.
Try to double move out to his left. Ray, see him on the out and up. And just no chance. Pressure that time from given up by Johnny Williams in there for Wyatt Milam.
They are really hurting on that West Virginia side. White, the running back, Green, the quarterback, the left tackle, Milam, who's an NFL prospect. Here's Dylan Edwards. And can't get an angle to the sideline. He's out at the 30. Kansas State will try to make it hurt a little bit more with all those injuries for West Virginia next. Team in back-to-back weeks and get to 3-1 in the Big 12. So far, so good for Kansas State. They've got the ball with a 2-score lead, and they have a first down with Keegan Johnson.
Just an excellent job here. Rhythm passing game from Avery Johnson and this entire K-State offensive staff here. Opening drive and the opening play of this second drive, the second half.
Giddens into the arm of Martin. You know, this is not quite put away territory, but it's getting close to that area. We talked about the toughness of Avery Johnson with a little bit of flash mixed into. Took a selfie with the Colorado and K-State fan mid-game. That was the end result.
Yeah, we brought that up to offensive coordinator Connor Riley, and I thought he had a good way to handle it. I'm sure he had a different discussion, as did Chris Kleinman with Avery Johnson. Hey, you better be acting like that, behaving like that in the good times and the bad. So far tonight, he's answered.
Deep ball for Brown, and it's out of his hands. Incomplete. Fagan with one last stretch saved a touchdown.
Speaking of answers, this is a great throw right here. A little lean post off of Fagan. Fagan does as good a job as he can to recover and just disturb the very top of that without interfering on Jason Brown, and lets it get into his chest. He won the game winner last week. That one he'd like to have back.
Margin of error for West Virginia right now, very, very small.
They have
3rd and 6.
They have to win every sort of those coin flip plays going forward. Down 3 of their leaders on offense.
On a 3rd down. Johnson given time. Giddens slips out of the backfield. He's off to the races. DJ Giddens is down at the half-yard line.
Moving on the field is a runner short of the goal line. First down, Kansas State.
He needed 54 yards. He got 53 and a half.
A little angle route, a little option route starts to the flat, angles back inside. And that will be reviewed. To me, like his knee was knocked down before it crossed the goal line. And they're saying, all right, you're stopping me on the ground. I can run routes. I can run after the catch. First and goal.
Kansas State up to the line, so touchdown or not, they'll play on. And Giddens is short again. This was really, really close.
Unbelievable effort by that West. And that is a great call. I was wrong again. It's happened about 1 billion times. That is such a great effort by Anthony Wilson Jr. And we'll see if that turns into a game-changing type of play. Great effort.
This means you've lived a lot of life.
And I'm old.
Giddens is stuffed again. Josiah Trotter leading the herd, and it's 3rd down and goal.
You said it, man. Trotter 40 square. This is 40 on 31, squared up in the hole. He's unblocked, getting to Giddens, 240, full speed against 212. Giddens fired up.
So West Virginia would like to make those inches matter of DJ Giddens not getting in on the touchdown. This is 3rd down. Back-to-back stops of Giddens. Play action. Johnson to the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas State. Will Ancio extends it to a 3-score lead.
It is dial a tight end. Hard sell play action. We gotta stop the run, gotta stop the run. Lathan all over Avery Johnson. He adjusts, finds Ancio. 6'6", 250, 6'5", 250, 6'5", 240. K-State tradition of tight ends.
They just put Ben Sinnott into the NFL. 2nd round to the Commanders. And they've got 3 guys on this team that can catch passes. Will Swanson is probably somewhere saying, it's my turn next in that tight end room. 1 to Oakley, 1 to Ancio after DJ Giddens got the Wildcats down there for a lead extender. Kansas State just extended it to a 3-score lead. Another touchdown for a tight end. DJ Giddens, his biggest play of the night. Got him down to the half-yard line for Will Ancio. Put it away. So short-handed West Virginia will have good starting field position, chasing 3 touchdowns. How about that second? We're going to 2 service academies.
2 service academies will be in the college football playoff. This is one of those ones you're trying to get the drive going with your backup quarterback. Nico Marchiol has to pull this ball. A little bit of a high snap. And he realizes it right there. That's the thing, the situation you're in right here with Neil Brown. You've got to be kind of in a tempo mode right here. But oh, by the way, you're without your left tackle, your starting quarterback, your starting running back against one of the best defenses in the country.
Kansas State very deep at that position that just flashed. Toby Osunsami. Very good run stopping and pass rushing front for Kansas State. Marchiol does keep it this time, and he gets popped. 3-yard gain. Here is Josh.
Well, the West Virginia game was a coming out party 2 years ago for Brendan Mott. I asked him about that, and he said that was the first time his Grandma Connie, came to see him play in person. He had 3 sacks and was named Big 12 Player of the Week in that game. He told me that was a pivotal game for him in terms of proving that he can play at this level, guys.
So it just took Connie to help kickstart the career of Brendan Mott.
There's a lot of quarterbacks. There are a lot of quarterbacks that are mad at Grandma right there.
There was a defensive hold on that last play, so it is a first down for West Virginia. You know, Mott went from a guy that broke out in this game 2 years ago
to Watt. Right. He turned into Watt.
To the edge for a short game. What do you say? He looks like you, but plays like Watt?
He looks unassuming and plays like Watt. So productive. The guy jumps off the tape. And just a lot of one-on-one situations. You got the bluff linebackers that Joe Clanahan, defensive coordinator, designed so well and finds the mismatch between Stuffle being Leo or mostly Mott.
He's looking on in the 2nd and 9. There's some pressure coming. It's picked up. Markiel complete for a first down. Clement grabs the first down for West Virginia.
Nice rhythm from Markiel. Gets to the top of his drop, steps up, lets it go. That feels good. That first little finish throw over the top to Clement. 1st and 10.
Markiel does have some starting experience. He started last year against Texas Tech. 1-score win for West Virginia that night against a very hungry front for Kansas State. He needs to make up 3 scores tonight.
Yeah, they can turn those guys loose, and they do a lot with free rushes and then overlap the linebackers. Because of the base 3-3-5, they can play that 3rd level, kind of a home run prevention defense that lets those guys play freer up front. And you can see Nico Markiel, they're not afraid to run quarterback run, predetermined quarterback run with him either.
Bend but don't break. That's what those numbers tell you. All the plays in plus territory for West Virginia tonight. This will be their 23rd of the night to the 13 for Kansas State. And it's Donaldson who has to carry the load because Jaheim White is out. And it'll be 3rd down. A little bit of a high snap there.
Yep. Unfortunately, an equal opportunity. Good job handling that time by Markiel. Not as high and hot. And there's that safety right there. We just drew. He was about 21 yards deep and shows up 2 yards across the line of scrimmage to meet Donaldson.
A little bit more margin for error for Brandon Yates with Markiel in the game, who's 3 inches taller than Green. The starting quarterback who is injured and out for the game. Markiel just hit on a 1st down through the air. This on a 3rd down.
Man rush.
He escapes. Eyes downfield. Flag out. Markiel deep shot incomplete. He got pressure in his face from Newsome. Flag is back down near where the ball was snapped.
Like the umpire was indicating holding. Discussion for that, though.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Personal foul, roughing the passer with targeting, number 23. Number 58, offense. Those fouls will offset. Previous players under review for targeting.
So that pressure from Newsome that we were talking about, that led to the targeting. And we'll look at that now.
58 alone, guilty party on the hold. He is a passer. He is defenseless, so it's just forcible contact to the head or neck area. And that, from that first angle, appeared to be that. That one kind of looked like he went to the side. This is a marginal one. I could see where they could wave this off just as he kind of put his head to the side, but let's bring in Dean Blandino and see what he thinks.
Yeah, looking at this, the roughing the passer, that's going to stay. So it's going to be a 15-yard penalty and an automatic 1st down no matter what. It's did he hit him forcibly in the head neck area? I do see the head to the side. I see him leading with the shoulder. Did that contact get to the upper chest or did he get any of the head neck area? To me, I'm struggling to get to 100% head neck. I think it might be upper chest. This is the best look. Does he catch him in the chin or is that the upper chest? If you can't confirm all the elements, you have to take the targeting off. So that's the decision they have to make. To me, I don't think this is 100% targeting.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page there. And then because of the offsetting penalties, that'll come back and be 3rd and 5, correct? Good offensive holding. But that's just a matter of if they call that the head, the forcible contact was to the side and lower.
Right, but his head whipped back.
Yep.
After review, there is no targeting. Number 23 can remain in the game. It's 3rd down.
But the contact was lower.
Yeah, the contact was low, and then as Dean said, The roughing the passer counts, but also the 58 right here on the edge. That is a grab and restrict on Brendan Mott. And so we'll line it up and play it again, 3rd and 5.
Inside a minute left in the 3rd quarter. Figure if West Virginia wants any chance, they got to get a score on this drive. Chasing 3 scores. Backup quarterback, starting running back, and tackle out, and just out of the reach of Clement. Go for it, time.
Yeah,
no
you have to, and this is just basically a receiver ISO. Watch the action here behind the tight end and Gallagher. And if he just puts it on him, getting easier said than done. Nico Markio certainly not getting a ton of reps at that in practice during the week. 4th and 5. Threw down into the top tight end. The number 3 receiver is Taylor.
Another shot at it on a 4th down. Pressure picked up. Markiel has it tipped. Taylor hustling for it, but can't get there. Knocked up by Siegel, who had the pick 6 earlier. And he gets the ball back for his team again.
Just one-on-one, their best cover safety. That is an athletic mismatch for the Cats as Siegel limped off against Colorado. Tough dude again. And Cole Taylor doing his best to hustle it down.
Let's look at our Saturday spread, sponsored by Hellman's Real Mayonnaise. May your game day be delicious. What's going on right now? Georgia, Texas, with the Dogs taking an early lead into the 3rd quarter. They're up 23-8. And first play of the drive, 1st down. Tight ends remain active for Kansas State. Ancio follows up his touchdown with a 1st down.
K-State doing their best air raid impression here in the 2nd half. Have really established chunk mostly. Look at that through the air.
Identity as a running team, and passing tonight has been the recipe. Swanson has it off his hands. He's the guy right now, Swanson, right, that's saying it's my turn next to score a touchdown.
Absolutely, got to rotate through the full chart there with the tight end group. That'll be well discussed in the tight end room. Those guys have had a great night blocking, route running, and certainly finishing.
DJ Giddens hopping around. I mean, that goes back to this group of coaches at K-State, to their North Dakota State time. Using fullbacks, using tight ends a lot. We've brought that here for the last 6 years to Kansas State.
The thing they do so well is everything matches. It's a run, it's a counter, it's a pull and slip, it's a crossing route off of action, and then the vertical gougers. Scored on earlier as we have a Mountaineer down with 5 seconds left. That's TJ Jackson. It might be, and gosh, he was kind of questionable coming into it. Has played his guts out. A lot of guys beaten and battered. You see Panzer 54, their emotional leader.
Yeah, the decision for Jackson was led all the way up to game time on if you would go tonight.
Panzer plays both guard spots in every game by design. Can also play some center, and that's a well-earned rest. Get that clock started.
Not an easy spot that Panzer stepped into this year. Cooper Beebe,
Yeah,
3rd round pick
tremendous player.
3rd round pick to the Cowboys. Used to play that left guard spot that Panzer now holds down.
Surprised they're not starting this. There they go. K-State was kind of holding their guys on the side, knowing that the clock was going to start. Michael Vanderbilt does, and we're going to the 4th quarter.
To serve. Connor Runyon, Mark Elfrich, Josh Sims with you. Our great Fox Sports crew. 31-10, Kansas State on the ball to start the fourth quarter on a third down. And they keep marching. First down to Dante Cephas.
They are working this spacing concept, clearly something Avery Johnson likes. Short triangle read for him, basic read, play catch, move the chains.
Space. Edwards exploits it for a first down and goal. Man, he can fly. He is fun when he gets some open grass.
He gets squared up, watch the press, starts to bend it back, and then Reed presses it outside, and you said square up, make him miss. Wilson Jr. finally gets him to the ground.
That is the only guy on Kansas State's team that Avery Johnson will admit is faster than him.
Barely, begrudgingly admits.
But he said, Dylan Edwards,
yep.
he's got me. First and goal. Back in the belly of Edwards. And running between the tackles. Had a chance to cover Edwards at the Under Armour All-America game 2 years ago. Won the fastest man challenge down there in Orlando against Nick Harbor with a great touchdown catch for South Carolina last week against Alabama. After that,
Were you third in that race?
No. I was there just taking cell phone video, obviously. He turns to the camera after he wins it and he says, "You can't touch what you can't catch." After running a 4.3 40-yard dash, Dylan Edwards. Edwards out of the backfield here. Johnson over the top, and he almost had Swanson for the tight end trifecta.
Yeah, had the four-corner bingo right there of tight ends and had him. This is one he'll want back. Just a little crossing route, working the top of the West Virginia, out at the top of the air. You want to throw that ball high to keep it away from underneath coverage, but not out of the reach of the 6'5" Will Swanson. One thing Avery Johnson hasn't done and hasn't had to do is run the football on his own. Definitely a concerted effort to keep him in the pocket from the K-State sideline as well.
And because of that side injury last week, they don't want to put him at risk. He has time, and flag is out. Jace Brown, the intended target. Jaheim Joseph thought he had the stop, didn't see the flag.
Joseph in the slot there, the really good nickel playing well for these guys. Anthony Wilson, we've seen all over the field, but just a one-on-one. Big box inside fade, and Joseph can't believe it. He might.
Prior to this, holding number 3, defense. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
No doubt about the hook and hold right there. I think the discussion was whether or not it was uncatchable. They talked about pass interference and defaulted to a hold. Neil Brown, at this point in the year, every call feels like it's going against you. Playing uphill again without your starting left tackle, starting quarterback, starting running back.
Giddens stancing, burrowing, driving the legs. And he's short. Gosh, all the yards that DJ Giddens has had this year, you'd think he'd have more than 2 touchdowns. Trying to reward him down here on a night where he's been stopped.
West Virginia just can't say enough about how well they've played defensively against him. Again, that time, it's Trotter, it's Joseph, and they're getting physical. The whole game plan was centered around stopping DJ Giddens. But the problem from K-State, the adjustment, 19 of 26 for 298 and 3 from Avery Johnson.
2 times tonight, Giddens been stopped down the goal line. They fake it to him. Johnson evades. Johnson has it tipped and almost caught. Keegan Johnson almost on the rebound from Joseph.
The way it's been going, you're surprised that bounce doesn't go K-State's way. Good awareness, that time to break contain. Now just got to keep your guy out in front, and then almost a lucky bounce to Keegan Johnson.
Johnson that close to his first touchdown of the year.
State changing their group. West Virginia can match. And from what you said earlier, there's about a 100% chance handoff to Giddens.
It's 100%. It's Giddens plowing ahead. There's the touchdown.
Production, and finally, Pater. 2 unblocked players off the edge. You can't design a blitz better right there. Carrico coming off the edge. Giddens just ran through him. Touchdown.
So Giddens gets in on it. Kansas State fans have to be thrilled that on a night where DJ Giddens has a season low 30 rushing yards, that's a season low by a lot. They are now 38-10.
Payoff.
It's our producer, always in the microfiche room. I'm getting the sense that Max Linewan just sits around in Los Angeles during the week and reads 1930s newspapers to get ready for our games.
I visualize him like a smoking jacket in a library with hard copy.
All right, how about something more modern? A game summary from tonight brought to you by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years.
Well, happy Wildcats through the air predominantly tonight. Right there, the shot to Jaden Jackson, the double move. Siegel says, not tonight. I'm going to sit on this and finish the deal myself. Avery Johnson, the angle route to DJ Giddens to 6 inches from the goal line. And then every tight end gets a shot tonight. That time it's NCO into the painted grass.
So if nothing more for West Virginia, a chance to find out what they've got in Nico Marchiol. Remember, the fans were asking, would Neil Brown make a move at quarterback after last week's loss? This happens because of injury to Garrett Green, because Neil Brown gave his starter a vote of confidence.
Yeah, Garrett Green's the quarterback of this team going forward if he's healthy. There's no doubt about that in this program. There's no doubt about this in this team. And that's no slight to Nico Marchiol. And then, unfortunately for him, there was a little bit of a Bronx cheer, but now with the try, you're starting back, Jaheim White.
C.J. Donaldson fighting ahead with the flag out.
Offside, number 26. Defense was in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Terry Kirksey called for that.
Kirksey in there from Hutch Junior College. Kansas legendary junior college program. Not the way you want to get in the scorebook tonight.
Some things going opposite of how they usually go for Kansas State. More penalties than usual, a lot less rushing yards than usual, and finding a way to be dominant in other ways. Couple-yard run there. 3rd down and short.
Donaldson's been the guy before. Still very productive, very good, a mentor, great mentor for Jaheim White. They said he's doing a really good job teaching him the physical part, the blocking game, the assignments. Really bringing him along and others. And they said he is finally 100% healthy.
Well, we talked with the offensive coordinator, Chad Scott, earlier this week, and he said the guy that spends the most time in the film room on the offense, outside of Garrett Green, is the running back right here, C.J. Donaldson. This is Marchiol with a spot close to the first down. He is short.
Wow, let's take a look at this. Nice angle slant there defensively. Must have been a body part down before we saw that rollover. Yeah, Brown says, we got to do this.
Ford on 4th and 5. Last drive didn't get it. Running it on 4th down here, and it was a fight to get their flag out from the umpire. Jonathan McIntosh made the hit on Donaldson. Check on the marker.
There's 11 cats out there. Can't make that at first, and that would be a different set of officials calling this, but I think it might have been a
Personal foul, face mask, number 28. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That is big Van Wy. Another 6'5", 240. They just grown like that in Kansas. They are all over this team. Big, long, good-looking dudes, and they're right there, unfortunately. Like the helmet opening version.
Yep.
Yep.
That counts. Ear hole, chin strap, face mask, all in the face mask category. Marchiol with an empty backfield. And across the middle, he has Ray for a first down.
Marchiol's pass complete.
More on C.J. Donaldson with Josh Sims.
Jordan Riley on the tackle. First down, West Virginia.
We'll get back to Josh.
Yeah, West Virginia fans, they don't want any more news from Josh Sims. I love Josh Sims. He's great, but no more bad news. And nice strike that time from Nico Marchiol to Traylon Ray.
Jalen Anderson, the new running back for West Virginia. Flag out.
Prior to snap, false start, number C. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Now, we bring you Josh Sims.
Well, C.J. Johnson played wide receiver in high school. When he came to West Virginia, recruited as a tight end, he wasn't fully sold on that position. So then Coach Brown told him his best shot to get on the field was to play running back. So he gave it a shot. And his first carry, week 1 at Pittsburgh in 2022, he went 44 yards. He told me it was that point I realized, hey, I can do this thing of running the ball.
Not bad to do it against a rival, too. Marchiol back to work in the air. Flag is out again. We weren't supposed to get many of these tonight. Kansas State and West Virginia never get called for penalties.
Version of that switch route they hit Taylor on earlier and through the pick on little switch stop. Just distributing the ball for Marchiol.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 44. Defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Toby Ensinsami with the contact to the head.
That's a interesting call. He's a defenseless player, any forcible contact to the head, and you can see the Kansas State assistants on the side saying, don't even let him, think about calling that one. But it's a tough call right there. Coach Will Brown's going, hey, how about the late hit when my quarterback's right on the sideline? We'll take that one earlier in the game.
Right. Donaldson back in there. Marchiol over the middle for a touchdown. Traylon Ray for 6 for West Virginia.
Nice job. Watch the read. RPO. You can see the offensive line blocking the run play right to the brink of that 3 yards, selling it. And Traylon Ray and Nico Marchiol connecting and going for 2.
Marchiol's second touchdown pass of the season. Got into the Oklahoma State win.
Unbalanced play. All 4 eligibles are down to the bottom. And Chris Kleiman bursts down the sideline to use a timeout.
Still got it from his time at UNI.
Lowercase b.
Their first 30 seconds in lane.
Former DB at Northern Iowa.
Yes. How good did they look?
Wow. What's your bad, John Mellencamp?
I don't have a good one, so it's both. It's everything. Good, bad, indifferent. Mellencamp.
Big win for the Hoosiers today after they had big noon kickoff. Still undefeated.
bunch here. Got big 87 on the point of that bunch.
2-point try for Markeel. Held out of there and back over the middle for 2 points. Cole Taylor is tight end. And tonight, Kansas State looks like they're headed to 3-1, which would also get them bowl eligible. But goals for Chris Klieman and Kansas State much, much bigger than that.
Got to check that first box before you get to those other ones. And as we've learned today and every day of the Big 12 season, every single one is a toss-up.
Kansas State won the Big 12 2 years ago. They finished 9th in the college football playoff voting. This will be a short kickoff. Kansas State smothers it. If they do that again, then they would be in the college football playoff this time, with Avery Johnson taking the pressure off a run game that hasn't gotten going tonight with some deep ball throws.
Attacking the safeties, and then the second half, it's just been air raid. It's been dig and dunk, it's spacing, it's play catch. The 4th and 5, breaking the tackle on the would-be sack from Martin, really put this game out of reach, and they haven't looked back since.
Career high for Avery Johnson in both yards and touchdowns. First-year starter after Will Howard transferred out before the bowl game last year. He made that first start in the Pop-Tart Bowl. A yummy finish to the end of that game for Kansas State in Johnson's first start. Eating the live mascot.
Yes. A live mascot. That's
an edible mascot.
Strong. Yeah, an edible. Oh.
Johnson becomes the full-time guy this year.
The Mountaineer is a live mascot, not edible. Right? That's why he has the musket.
Did you give that a try down on the field?
No, I did not.
You were in the area lurking. Pressure from the back end. Johnson with a strong stiff arm and throws it away. Survived Josiah Trotter, who almost had the sack. Will Howard is now the starting quarterback at Ohio State. And the comparison and the seasons they're having is pretty comparable. Both are 5-1. Passing yards, total yards about the same. Same with touchdowns.
Yeah, a lot of people in the Sunflower State feel that one was run out by him. Those are two really good football players, totally different. I think in the future, I think Avery Johnson's going to be just a little bit more versatile, a little bit more to his game. And right there, you could see him gesturing to the sideline like, hey, my body here, I'm not going to run, and just throw it away.
And that ball comes out. That is incomplete. Anthony Wilson clubbed it away. It's 4th down.
These guys on defense and this entire team are still competing their tails off as hard as they look up at this deficit, knowing they're facing Avery Johnson and battling every second of the way.
The first time that West Virginia gets a stop in the second half. And that is wrapped up real quickly. Preston Fox. Nowhere to go. A little more than midway through the 4th quarter in Morgantown. Hunter's Moon is turned into a sponsored by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Marquise Siegel had the big defensive play early with a pick 6 for Kansas State.
All over the place. 8 tackles, 1 for the loss. And this was the game changer, the pick 6 to get in Garrett Green's kitchen all night long. He's in the backfield there. And a big 4th down stop disrupting Big Cole Taylor. Omaha native, North Dakota State transfer, Marquise Siegel, outstanding tonight, and still not 100%. You can tell he's just a little bit limited.
Didn't look like
scary.
it
Scary, scary.
Submarine the back.
And on cue, makes another tackle. Thank you, Marquise. Pay it off.
Ram Trucks, thank you, Marquise Siegel. ball incomplete. Who was on the coverage? It was Marquise Siegel. He is really the embodiment, Siegel, of all the places that the Kansas State staff has been. Omaha native, which is where Connor Riley, the offensive coordinator, is from. He was at North Dakota State, not with this group of Kansas State coaches, but that's where head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator all were before. And now he finds himself here at Kansas State making big plays. Connections. Running deep for Siegel. 3rd and 12 for Marchiol. Wants the other sideline, doesn't have it. B.J. Payne with coverage over the top. Justin Robinson the target, and it's 4th down.
Garber plays bigger than he is, 6 foot 190. But look what he does there to a bigger receiver, a bigger target. Just takes the entire grass away, forces him to the sideline, gives no grass for Nico Marchiol to drop it into, and sets up another 4th in the ball game here for West Virginia.
It was Garber who had the game-winning pass breakup last week on 4th down at Colorado. It was in a 1-score game. Pressure's coming, and down he goes. Obi Izor. Had help from Stufflebean. And the ball is Kansas State's again. Up by 20. So, DJ Giddens, not the night he normally has, but 7.3 yards per carry. That's more than Mark Ingram and Derrick Henry in their Heisman seasons. Will that Heisman house add another member from the running back room? Those are the only 2 since Reggie Bush in 2005. Only 2 running backs.
Another scary running back, and 7.3. And then you look at Austin Genty right next to him. That's a 1st down. Give him the ball. It's a 1st down. Just 2 great players.
There he goes.
There's Giddens running deep into the night. Josh?
Well, guys, we know DJ Giddens is a hard-nosed runner, and Coach Kleiman said this week he practices the way you see him play in games. They try and get him to take breaks during the week, and he doesn't want to. He wants every single rep he can get. Also, a very quiet guy whose favorite pastime is a little bit of fishing, guys.
He likes the walleye and the yellow perch that you can catch here in West Virginia.
Josh brought up two great points there, and then the other one at the end of that they paid off. And you know, Coach Kleiman was just couldn't stop talking about, we'll let this play.
It's Giddens up the middle. Oh, nasty spin. Corkscrewing his way for his 2nd touchdown. DJ Giddens adds another for Kansas State.
Well, the payoff story was what Coach Kleiman said. He said, I had him talk to the team, and you know what he said? Great job, O-line. And that was it. That was his total message. And right there, he runs through the best player, Josiah Trotter, on the way to the end zone to put an exclamation point on this for K-State.
Injured Mountaineer down after the touchdown. Down at the 10-yard line.
Just got to give him a window. This is why it was so amazing what they did to him, really through 2.5 full quarters. Little jump cut turns into the jump spin cycle. Good job getting high at tight. Trotter probably would have punched that out. Got to do everything he can to turn the ball over at that point, but Giddens would not be denied.
Barnett Hollis up and moving.
And 10 out of 10 air game.
Half those total yards, yeah, I agree, by the way. Half those yards in the 2nd half came on that 53-yard reception that he almost scored on. Marked down at the half-yard line. By the end of the week, Giddens might be 3rd in the Big 12 in rushing, but I don't think that's going to be the final say. Cam Scadaboo and R.J. Harvey having big weeks to move up the ranks. Could. BYU's going to have a big say in that. A lot of teams are going to have a big say in that, but that could decide who goes to Arlington. for the Big 12 title game. Who doesn't?
Yep, every one of those games is hold serve, and that's what K-State has done. Is other than that BYU game, they control it.
Iowa State losing right now, 35-27. 9:34 to go in the fourth. First and goal for Iowa State, trying to get a game-tying score.
Every Manhattan TV's trying to change channels.
Hey, stay with us.
Stay with
Final
us.
5:51. You can double screen it. FS1 has that game. Day Farmer started the feed at the 20, and down he goes. Newsom makes the tackle. Here are your tiers for the Big 12. You've got Kansas State in that top tier, right? And then BYU, Iowa State, still both undefeated. Colorado with their win today against Arizona, impressive again.
Yeah, Colorado ended up just really blowing out Arizona and running away with them. We might as well just flatten the entire Big 12. There's only a couple teams out of it. And then you brought up kind of that second tier. That's West Virginia. Kyle Whittingham still without a quarterback, with a banged up team. They're still dangerous. Arizona State kind of TBA. Texas Tech with a big loss today. And then everybody else. It's literally everybody else.
This is tier 2 with the.
Oh, I didn't know we were actually going to the tier.
Yeah, here's. Then everybody else.
Yeah, so West Virginia, obviously a tough one tonight. Tougher with the losses of their quarterback, left tackle that we can see on the sideline here. Utah, Arizona State. Real battle. Scattaboo.
Are you? Go ahead.
No.
You had a question for me. I was going to take you somewhere else.
Let's do it.
I was going to say, are you familiar with the Sickos committee?
Ball is out.
Ball is out. Ball put on the deck. And Traylon Davis was the one to get back on top of it for West Virginia. Familiar, Sickos committee?
Yeah.
The Sickos committee is hoping that there's 8 teams that are 5-4, 8 teams that are 4-5, and that's how we decide who goes to Dallas.
Oh, that is sicko. Jalen Anderson injured Jaheim White, C.J. Donaldson banged up, trying to get the junior from Perry, Ohio involved.
So 3rd down and 8 after the ball was down. Davis saved possession for West Virginia, and Marchiol just got it away, but still short of the first down. Lead to Clement, and he paid a price for it.
Yeah, Ryan Davis lit him up. This is one of those ones Marchiol not quite up to game speed action. This is one of those ones where the scout team guy pulls off of it. Ryan Davis says, no, I'm going to get to you and finish you. Great effort. And then strong hands on the back end of it by Clement.
Offense stays out for West Virginia, 4th and 2. Haven't got one of these tonight. They're 0 for 3. Marchiol runs with it. Zigzagging, switching hands. He's close. Looks like he got there. Yeah, they'll say he got it. First down, West Virginia.
Just the nose of the ball right at the 31-yard line. Just enough to move the chains.
You were saying last week you think that
K-State got caught in a substitution. They had about 30 guys on the field. They were trying to shuttle them in and out. Chris Klein called timeout.
30 seconds in length.
So second timeout for Kansas State. Garrett Green hasn't played in the second half for West Virginia. That was the hit that initially had him limping. He took a lot more, and that knocked him out of the game.
Yeah, this one, Mott, as he's throwing the big hit on the sideline that certainly the West Virginia sideline was lobbying for a late hit, had the face mask and just took a beating. Has not played a snap in the second half. Neither has, again, starting left tackle Wyatt Milam or Jaheim White. But other than that, again,
they're healthy.
Yeah, exactly. 2 leading rushers.
It was 17-10 right before halftime. West Virginia had it down by the goal line, did not get a 4th down. Kansas State ended up needing it, going to the
Step up.
and then Garrett Green didn't come out of the locker room, and Kansas State basically said goodnight.
The play right there was the Cole Taylor throw when they couldn't find him.
Mark Gill is sacked. Jordan Allen with the sack. First career sack for Allen. This was the play we were just talking
So there's 87. You see him right in the front of the end zone. Chris Kleiman is trying to get a delay of game called and then getting his guys to react to the ball and just couldn't find Cole Taylor as he was crossing. They had a beautiful rub route if you're an offensive guy, pick route if you're a defensive guy. And Taylor was open, and I think he just thought the corner was going to fall off, but that's one of those, you just got to give your guy a chance on fourth down in that part of the game. A pick doesn't hurt you. Getting to your big 6'7" tight end gives you a chance.
Green for Clement. Short, fourth down. Is Jerome Tang, the basketball coach, hit up Chris Kleiman, by the way? He looked like he could guard.
Yeah, he was squared out.
Down in that position. 2-minute timeout coming up. Kansas State rolling on their way to 3-1. Marquis Siegel saying, remember the name after his pick six. Want to say it too, I know you do.
No, that's your job.
Come on.
You're smooth.
Going to hand you the card?
No. If John Mellencamp would have said it, I would have said something.
Would you have said it like John Mellencamp? Damn. Jack and Diane would have said it. Fourth down after the 2-minute timeout. Pressure on Markiel, took a shot again and incomplete.
Saw 36 Jack Fabris right there getting to Markiel. They kind of okey-doke with the opposite safety, added Fabris, and he is unaccounted for in that protection. He says, Nico Markiel, there will be other days. I'm going to help you up and jog off.
The combined hits between Markiel and Green.
Yes.
It's a lot of pain that K-State defense has brought tonight. West Virginia quarterbacks. New quarterback into the game for Kansas State, Taquan Roberson. Key part of that win last week for Kansas State. Played 8 plays when Avery Johnson went out. He's handing off to Joe Jackson. Taquan Roberson gives them good security at that second quarterback spot. He was at Penn State, then UConn. He's played some here at Kansas State and looked unfazed.
Yep.
Especially on that third down that he completed last week.
Yeah, last week against Colorado, he was basically like Markiel against Oklahoma State for West Virginia. Kind of, your backup goes in, instills some confidence, does his job, gets your guy back in there. But that is certainly the future right there. The man with the golden locks, Avery Patterson. Avery Patterson, I got all the way through. It's Avery Johnson. Long story.
You got to explain that.
A former great player, Avery Patterson.
Jackson. Wow. They'll mark him down at the half-yard line. 29 yards for Joe Jackson. Avery Johnson
can't believe the spot, yeah.
Jackson had his first touchdown.
When you've got DJ Giddens, you've got Dylan Edwards, you got to take advantage. And right here, Joe Jackson does it. Jump cut, get vertical, and then just runs a running back drill through the cones. And maybe luckily for this game, falls down at the 1-yard line. We'll see how Chris Kleiman and company handles this, and they're going to go victory mode.
Jackson is craning his neck. Like, come on, man.
And they're going to review it.
Previous play is under further review.
It's one of those tough situations, for Chris Kleiman. You're in this situation. Ton of respect for the guy on the other sideline. And now that decision might be taken out of his hands after we see this review.
Is it or is it not the first touchdown of Joe Jackson's career?
The deceiving part, maybe from the official standpoint, is it's the defender, his left elbow that hits first, and that kind of maybe deceiving for the guy spotting the ball outside in. That looks like a touchdown from that angle.
If you are wondering, this does not mean anything for money changing hands.
Your friends in certain places. Verdict.
After review, ruling on the field stands is called. First down.
Gave Chris Klieman some time to think about. Do I want to put it in the belly of Jackson? I think he's going to kneel it.
Yeah, I did too.
One knee should do it.
Joe Jackson will think about that on the entire flight home.
Avery Johnson wanted it so bad for him too. So it's been a coin flip the last couple years for Kansas State on the road. Back-to-back late-night games on the road, and they're going back to Manhattan. 3-1 in the Big 12, and one game back of first place.